everybody. Good evening, everyone. My name is Manuel Perez. Some of you know me as Manny. I'm your supervisor for the 4th District here, Riverside County. And I just want to say a big thank you to, obviously, the Coachella Valley Chapter of Veterans for Peace, the John Castro Chapter 19, as well as the AMVETS Post 66, the Occupy Coachella Valley, and the Courageous Resistance for all your great work. And as well, Tom Swann, Hernandez, who's on his way. Why don't you give yourselves all a round of applause, please. And tonight, though, we're honoring 3 Tuskegee Airmen, 3 pioneers of the United Farm Workers, Courageous Resistance, and as well honoring the memory of Larry Colburn and Charlie Liddicky. I'm not sure if I said that correctly, but know that obviously they're very important individuals. And so the Tuskegee Airmen were part of a truly heroic generation. They were a distinguished group that compiled an impressive combat record in North Africa and Europe during World War II. They provided courageous service to help defeat the forces of aggression and shattered racial stereotypes at a time when the nation's armed forces were segregated. Their contributions were recognized in 2007 when the Tuskegee Airmen were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the nation's highest civilian award. If your organization did nothing but honor the work of the fine men and women of peace here tonight, that would be more than sufficient. Yet, you are all involved in so many worthy efforts to advance a more peaceful global community. And those efforts merit my commendation. One of those efforts is your Peace Pole project. And if you're unfamiliar with a peace pole, I encourage you to visit one. They are ornate, they're handcrafted monuments. They say, "May peace prevail on earth," in multiple languages. Now, you also hold this fitting commemoration to advance peace, the International Day of Peace Awards ceremony. The International Day of Peace was established in 1981 by the United Nations General Assembly. In 2001, the General Assembly unanimously voted to designate the day as a period of nonviolence and ceasefire. The United Nations invites all nations and people to commemorate Peace Day and honor a cessation of hostilities during the day. Events are being held around the world under the theme, "Together for Peace, Respect, Safety, and Dignity for All." International Day of Peace is something our world needs. I was invited to speak on what peace means to me and why we need peace in the world. All people deserve peace, human rights, and respect. The rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are unalienable and universal rights. I pray that we can live in peace and eliminate the need for war and extend opportunity for all to live in freedom. On a day like today, it's entirely appropriate to turn our thoughts to stories of goodwill and kindness and solidarity. And I just want to say to you all that I commend your work, and I commend all the efforts of Veterans for Peace. And all our veterans that are here today, I want to thank you for your service and for everything that you've done for our society. And we know that without you, there would not be freedom. And thank you.
Welcome tonight. Now we'll have Bob Calvert, our Vietnam War veteran, give the invocation.
We practice the Lotus Sutra. If anybody would like to pray with me, I'll chant 3 times. And those who would like to offer their own prayers in private, please do it while I read this. Thank you much. Nam yo renge kyo, nam yo renge kyo, nam yo renge kyo. Let us remember the fallen soldiers, our ancestors and predecessors show gratitude and great appreciation for our life and for their sacrifice. Thank you. Nam yo renge kyo. Nam yo renge kyo. Nam yo renge kyo. Thank you.
He's returned to us. We've not had him for a few years because he moved to Los Angeles. He was in a car accident. But he's very famous here at Vendors for Peace. We gave him an award a few years ago. He's a great musician, writer, writes plays and poetry, and he's very gifted. Please welcome Steve Peterson.
I wrote a song for this event. It's called The Winds of Peace. We start out as a child and grow, across the land we roam. The tests of life can bring us down, but love can bring us home. We make our choices good or bad, wonder day by day, until we each forgive ourselves and accept the price we pay. So take up every ways and means, hate and pain release. Accept and then forgive mankind. Share, share, share the winds of peace. Share, share, oh share the winds of peace. Thank you very much.
My name is Swann Hernandez. I'm the president of Vendors for Peace and the founder and commander of AMVETS Post 66 here in Palm Springs. I'm legally blind. I hope you'll be patient with me. Today is International Day of Peace. This is our 12th annual Peace Day event. We have become a desert tradition. We hold the only Peace Day ceremony in the Inland Empire. Our co-sponsors tonight are Vendors for Peace, Untitled Chapter 19, Frank Bolton Post, AMVETS Post 56, Occupy Coachella Valley, and Courageous Resistance of the Palm Springs and other desert cities. In 1981, the United Nations General Assembly, by unanimous vote, adopted Resolution 3667, establishing the International Day of Peace. Peace Day provides an opportunity for individuals, organizations, and nations to create practical acts of peace on a shared day. Peace Day should be devoted to commemorate and strengthen the ideals of peace, both within and among all nations and people. Peace Day is also a day of ceasefire, personal and political. Take this opportunity to make peace in your own relationships, as well as in the larger conflicts of our time. Imagine what a whole day of ceasefire would mean to mankind. Often the first step toward achieving peace and reconciliation is the act of forgiveness. Father Canole said Sunday that when you forgive, you release a prisoner, and the first captive you release is yourself. So at this time, I just want to say, let peace prevail on earth and let it begin with us. Now, at this time, we'll have our next, I want to introduce Raimundo Noor, the Imam of the Islamic Society of the Coachella Valley, to come forward, please, and speak.
Good evening. Tom called me a lot to speak here tonight, and I finally returned his call, and we met, I believe, maybe about a year ago at a program here, in Palm Springs, and he mentioned the peace poll and wants to dedicate one to our mosque, or new mosque in Coachella, which we are in the process of beginning to build. Peace, as we know it, is that sought-after condition the world over. I don't know of any nation today that would say to their citizens, we don't want peace in our nation, regardless of where we are or what we're doing. So on this day, on this International Day of Peace, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Peter Karlstrom. I'm with Congressman Raul Ruiz. On behalf of the Congressman and the 36th District, we'd just like to commend the Tuskegee Airmen for their bravery and their heroism. And we are very grateful to share this occasion with you.
So we have Darrell James come up. Darrell is a World War II veteran. He's the past commander of AMVETS, and he's adjutant to our post right now. But we want to have Darrell present awards to Master Sergeant Otis Biggers and Captain Rusty Burns. And they're both local Tuskegee Airmen, and we're so proud of them to have them here tonight. And we want Darrell to present the awards, say a few words, and then let them speak.
Thank you, Tom. It's what a great honor given me by Veterans for Peace bestowing this special award to two members of the Tuskegee Airmen. As a World War II veteran, I'm especially honored to give the award to a fellow veteran of World War II, our captain, who will shortly be here, the Tuskegee Airmen. And knowing this history just punctuates the great honor it is to present these awards to the Captain and the Sergeant. If they please step forward, please. Captain. Here's the Captain Burns.
Yes.
Captain Rusty Burns. What an honor. Veterans for Peace, this is our award.
From AMVETS.
Well, this is from, first of all, this is first from the state.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
In California. And it says that on behalf of the 56th Assembly District, I proudly recognize your tremendous service as the Tuskegee Airmen. I honor your ferocious sacrifice in defense of our country. This is from Assemblyman Edward Garcia. And then from AMVETS, this is the International Day of Peace Awards, the Silver Helmet Award for heroic service presented to Captain Rusty Burns, Tuskegee Airmen. And this is the Frank Moulton chapter. Sergeant Otis, right? It's a pleasure to meet you. Okay. This is Otis Biggers.
My voice is not very loud today, so bear with me. On behalf of the 992 men who persevered during World War II, graduated from Tuskegee Flying Service, and served themselves, distinguished themselves rather in the war, I accept these awards on behalf of all of them.
Good evening. I am a Tuskegee Airman Associate. I didn't quite make the war. And I appreciate the honors from you and all the other places. Thank you.
You do indeed.
We have someone from the Vietnam Wall here tonight.
My name is Edward G. Johnson. I served in Vietnam. Sometimes it's hard to keep a straight face, but I do my best. I've helped bring the Vietnam Traveling Wall to Desert Hot Springs in 2011, and this time we brought it again in June of this year. I have an article here from the paper. So I want to say thank you very much for inviting me. It's truly an honor, sir.
That's right.
And thank you. There's flyers in the back for this too.
Now at this time, we'll have Chuck Parker come forward. We have 3 pioneers of the United Farm Workers we're recognizing tonight.
Good evening. I'm very happy to be here and to be able to introduce my 2 friends, Clementina Oyoke and Cuca Carmona. These 2 ladies are 2 of the people who started the movement for the United Farm Workers Union in Coachella in the late 60s and early 70s.
I would like to say a couple of words about the next guest, the speaker. Joyce Silver often describes herself as an ordinary person, but nothing could be further from the truth. She's an extraordinary person, and she's led an extraordinary life.
My name is Joy Silver. Thank you so much for this great honor. I am with the courageous resistance. And what are we resisting, you might ask? We are resisting injustice in all its forms. Thank you.
Now, we want to have remarks about Judy Shea. She's one of the great advocates here in Desert Hot Springs. She received an award at Peace Day 3 years ago. Judy Shea.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank all the city council people that didn't show up. I want to have a veterans center. Bill Cherhay, who was the exalted ruler at the Elks not too long ago, he had to go all the way to Barstow for a home for veterans. There's 8 in the state of California. I want a real home, not a 90-day stay and get out and go find a job. I'm talking about retirees and so forth, and people that aren't going to go out and get a job, because I want a place where they can stay as long as they want. Thank you.
Thank you. And remarks by Laura Meeks, who's a transgender veteran, a member of our group.
Well, I am here tonight to put a face, a friendly face, on the transgender military member. I am Laura Meeks, Major, U.S. Air Force, retired. I live here locally. I am in Rancho Mirage. I live and work in Rancho Mirage as a life coach. I spent my military career flying B-52 aircraft. I was trusted at that time to carry a bomb bay filled with weapons that were thousands of times more powerful than the weapons we dropped on Hiroshima. I was also trusted by my crew to bring them back alive. My belief is that if anybody wants to create peace, that there is no one more concerned about peace than veterans. Veterans, and some of you have already told us you have witnessed war. War is hell. War is hell. War is nothing like the movies. It is nothing like your video games, and there's probably no one more aware of that than veterans. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. First of all, I hope we can take a moment to recognize and pray for the current victims of climate change in Puerto Rico, Florida, Texas, and in India, where so far 2,000 people have perished in the last month. Thank you.
Thank all of you for being here and for caring. Each and every one of you are taking part in making changes. And I think that you're all very wonderful and special. Thank you so much. I think one of the reasons why I feel honored to be here is to be amongst all of you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you,
I'll get home peacefully.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you.